Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach, and you're watching Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. As you get a peek at a man who entered the league in 2012 as a third-round draft pick, Nick Foles.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete from Madden NFL 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
Here's Foles. He dumps it off to Barkley. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
In today's football, there aren't a lot of goals for defenses, but when you hold a team under 100 total yards of offense, yeah, that has to be a goal that was met. Big check mark for them in last week's game.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Foles to Barkley on the check down. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. A first down carry for Barkley. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Now Foles. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
That is caught at the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone. That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
False start, offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
On play action, they'll throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Throwing, Prescott. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the play. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 3 catches, 71 yards.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. 4th down, Prescott. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Fielded at the 20. And shedding through the tackle. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Prescott now on 2nd down. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll run it with Elliott. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, 42 yards. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot defensively. How do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Prescott. Finding some room at midfield. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Again to Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Gun.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he'll go down, but not before getting us inside the 30. A minute 57 to go in this first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A first down carry by Elliott. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Prescott. This will be caught inside the 10. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes.
Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led onto the field by their 6'6" quarterback, the former Arizona Wildcat, Nick Foles.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
How fun will it be to watch Barkley and Elliott go at it twice a year? Here's 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's a give to Barkley. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
He'll look to throw. Well, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, 1st down.
Yeah, and I'll guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Prescott now. And he completes it to Westbrook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Elliott. Oh, now he bowls him over. That good for 19 and a first down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And he comes back with one complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here's Scott. Well, he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Now Prescott. Oh, he got position on it, and he pulls it in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken.
That does.
But how about
Odell Beckham Jr. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, 76 yards. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting a back step in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Mario Edwards Jr., son of former Cowboy Mario Edwards Sr., there on the stop.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A good pickup there at 22.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 10-7 our score. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Get out.
From the red zone now, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The extra point up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
These 2 offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. After a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Prescott on 1st down. Finding room inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Prescott now from the 50. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's got it with the 15. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now Elliott, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Foles, he's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He's going to field this at the 4. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia was the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The way he's been slinging it.